Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are doing a lesson that is not in our book, but that's going to get us ready for our Topic B quiz. So today we're going to talk about order of operations. So in math, there are 4 common operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So that is what we call the 4 operations. Now, when you're solving problems that have multiple operations within one problem, you have to follow a specific order. So the correct order is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So we have this phrase, a mnemonic device that kind of helps us remember it, and it's just called PEMDAS. So we're going to write it again larger in your own writing. PEMDAS. Oh, Ms. Munoz made a mistake. PEMDAS. P stands for parentheses. E stands for exponents, which we learned in this last topic. So an exponent, when we see the little 2 or 3 or even 5, 6, 7, any exponent. M stands for multiplication, our D stands for division, A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. And that is the order you have to follow when there's multiple operations within one problem. If you don't follow this, you will not get the right answer. So this isn't like an option, this is a must-do. Now, I always say multiplication and division kind of go together, and addition and subtraction go together. So those can be followed from left to right. So for example, if I had a division, I could do it before the multiplication as long as I did these as a team. I kind of say they're like a package deal. Okay, so I'm going to use this PEMDAS to kind of help me. So when I look at number 1, I automatically know this is going to be an order of operations problem because I see a multiplication, addition, and a subtraction all within one problem. So I always like to start by writing PEMDAS. I keep skipping my D for some reason to keep me on track. So I look at my problem and I say, do I have any parentheses? And yes, I do, right here. So I need to solve that first. So 8 plus 3 is 11. And I like to use these kind of like upside down carrots to help me. And what do I have left? I still have the 10 left, the multiplication sign left, the subtraction sign, and the 18. So now I look again and I say, do I have any more parentheses? No. Do I have any exponents? No. Do I have any multiplication or division since they're a team? And I do. I have multiplication right here. So I need to figure out what 10 times 11 is. Now, if I don't have enough room here, I did leave some side workspace area, but I can figure that out. So 10 times 11, some of you might be able to do that in your head because thinking of our basic facts. Okay, well, I know 10 times 10 is 100. Okay, so if I had an extra one, I know that that would be 110. So 11 tens is 110. So I have 110, subtract 18. So do I have any more multiplication or division? No. And now I do have some addition and subtraction. And I want to work that out. I'm going to come over here on the side because I don't want to do that in my head. So 0 take away 8 I can't do, so I'm going to regroup. 10 take away 8 is 2. 0 take away 1 I can't do, so I'm going to regroup. 10 take away 1 is 9. So 110 take away 18 is 92, and that is my answer. Okay, I'm going to skip number 2, and I'm going to go on to number 3. So again, when I see number 3, I see multiplication, subtraction, and division. So again, I know this is a order of operations problem because of the multiple operations. So I'm going to start with my PEMDAS. I'm going to circle my pairs. And I look and say, do I have any parentheses? And I do, right here. 432 subtract 65. So I'm going to work that out because I do not want to solve that in my head. So 2 take away 5, I need to regroup. 12 take away 5 is 7. 2 take away 6 is impossible, so I need to regroup. 12 take away 6 is 6, and 3 take away nothing is 3. So I have 367, and then I'm going to write everything else down. So everything else down. Okay, now I look at this and say, do I have any more parentheses? No. Do I have any exponents? No. Do I have any multiplication or division? And I do, right here. Right here I have 16 times 367. So I'm going to come down here and solve that. And that is a 2-digit multiplication problem. So I'm going to use the standard algorithm, which means I always start right here. And I have 6 times 7 is 42. So I'm going to carry my 4. 6 times 6 is 36 plus 4 is 40. So I'm going to carry my 4. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 4 is 22. So I'm going to carry my 2, but there's nothing to carry it to. So I'm going to bring it down. And I'm done with the 6 digits, so I'm going to cross those off so I don't accidentally reuse them. And I'm going to move on to the 1. Now when I multiply with the 1, remember the answer has to go under the 1. So I have 1 times 7 is 7, 1 times 6 is 6, and 1 times 3 is 3. And I have a placeholder. So I have 2, 7, 8, 5. So 16 times 367 is 5,872. And I'm going to copy everything else down. Okay, so now I come back to my PEMDAS. Do I have any more multiplication or division? Yes, I have division right here. So what is 33 divided by 11? Well, I can do that one in my head. 33 divided by 11 is 3. Okay, so I'm going to copy everything else down. Do I have any more multiplication or division? No. Do I have any addition or subtraction? Yes, right here. And I probably want to work that out. So 5,872 subtract 3 is, 2 subtract 3 is impossible, so I'm going to regroup. 12 subtract 3 is 9. And my final answer then is 5,869. And that is my final answer following order of operations. Okay, so let's try 2 of these together. Okay, here's our first one. We're going to go back to number 2. Okay, and I see a multiplication sign, an addition, and a subtraction, which tells us it is a PEMDAS problem. So let's start by writing PEMDAS and circling our teams. Multiplication and division are a team, and addition and subtraction are a team. Okay, so the first thing I see is there are parentheses. And that I could do in my head. So 7 plus 40 is 47. And then we're going to copy everything else down. Okay, then we look. I don't have any more parentheses. I don't have any exponents. I do have some multiplication right here. So let's come over here on the side and solve that using the algorithm. 47 times 46, so because they're the same length, I put the larger one on top. And we always start here. So 6 times 7 is 42. I put the 2 and carry our 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 4 more is 28. So I put my 8 and go to carry my 2 and notice there's nowhere to carry it. So I bring it there. Okay, since we're done with our 6, let's cross that off. And then let's move on to our 4. Now remember when we use our 4, the answer has to go directly under the 4. So we're going to say 4 times 7 is 28. So I'm going to put my 8 and carry my 2 to the next digit, which is the 4. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18. So we're going to put our 8, and there's nowhere to carry our 1, so we're going to bring it down. And then we have a placeholder. So let's add our two partial products. So 2 plus 0 is 2. 8 plus 8 is 16. 2 plus 8 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. So I'm getting our product is 1,162. And then we're going to bring everything else down. Okay, so we have no more multiplication or division, but we do have some addition or subtraction. So I'm going to come down here and do some side work. I also had all this room down here for side work if was needed, but I have enough that I can use it there. So 2 take away 2 is 0. 6 take away 1 is 5. And so our difference, or our final answer, is 1,150. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's do one more of these together. So turning to the back side of yours, we're going to do number 4 together as well. So I see an addition sign, a multiplication, a subtraction, and a division. So this is definitely a PEMDAS problem because there are 4. And when we say PEMDAS, it's just our shortcut for order of operations because there's multiple operations. Okay, so the first thing we see is parentheses, and that's the must do first. So let's work that out over here on the side. 33 times 22. So we always start with this digit. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 3 is 6. And we are done with this digit, so let's move on to this digit. We have 2 times 3 is 6, and notice where I put it, because it has to go underneath the digit I'm multiplying with. And 2 times 3 is 6. So our answer is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. So our answer is 726. Okay, so we're going to write it and then copy everything else down. So 7 plus, subtract 20 divided by 5. Okay, so we look at our problem. We have no more parentheses, no exponents, but we do have some multiplication or division right there. 20 divided by 5, well, that means if I had 20 and put them in 5 groups, each group could have 4. So let's copy everything else down. Okay, we have no more multiplication and division. So now we do have some addition and subtraction. So we can have 726. This one I might be able to do in my head just by using my fingers. So if I have 726 and I'm going to add 7 more, I have 727, 728, 729, 730, 731, 732, and 733. So that one I was able to do in my head using my fingers actually. I'm going to copy everything else down, and I still have some addition or subtraction. And again, you might be able to work this out. Well, if I took away 3, I would be left with 730. But if I have to take away 1 more, I'll be left with 729, which is my final answer. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, your homework tonight is to solve these 2 problems of order of operations using PEMDAS as your trick to help you, and then always make sure you rate how you feel. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.